Top 100 ever. There was a list put together by Bleacher Report, and it didn't get past my man Scotty Swingler. I got a message yesterday afternoon. He said, I want to dive into this list tomorrow. I didn't know he was baiting me to bully me, which I found out this morning. So I put my list together. Scotty put his together. I do want to tell you that I hate this stuff. I hate it. And here's why. We are not qualified to put this list together. I am not worthy.
Speak for yourself.
To rank the top 20 players in NBA history as though I am some cigar chewing, typewriter hammering, like old school Bob Ryan who just knows it all. I don't. But I've been around. I've seen a lot, and I've watched a lot of basketball. And I'm in this field. You know, I still don't think that I don't know. So I'd love to see the jokers who rank these for Bleacher Report. No knock on Bleacher Report because they're great dudes there. But you know what I mean? Like, I'd love to see who put the list together. That's all I'm saying.
So I think you and I are perfectly qualified to put this list together.
Why?
Because we are somewhere in between, Pete. You and I are far more knowledgeable than the average American sports fan.
Yes, of course.
We have probably watched more sports overall, more basketball than the average American sports fan. And we are not so snobby and up our own butt about our own opinions that we think we've got it all figured out.
Well, and I'll tell you this, and this probably isn't good publicity for the show, but I know enough. No, truly, I know enough to know that I don't know that much. Right? Like, so that's all I'm saying. And I do have a very high bar when I listen to people that are going to break down the games of the greats. You know, like,
sure.
I would much rather hear PJ Carlesimo talk to me about why Kobe Bryant wasn't as clutch as Steph Curry, as opposed to one Scotty Swingler. But here we are. So let's get started with this list. That's just like what do they call that? A preface or what do they call that? A disclaimer.
You want to put Bleachers up first?
Yeah, let's do the top 20, right?
Well, so you gave me 15.
Yeah, because 20 is a lot. Like, by the way, let's not act like this. You could just throw a list like this together.
Oh, I did. I love making lists, though, and you don't, so we're different.
I feel, I think it's like a pressure thing.
So here's Bleacher Report's top 15. So they did 100. I have issues with some of the 100. We talked about that before the show this morning. But this is their top 15. No names in here that are really shocking.
Because it's yours?
No, this is Bleacher Reports.
Oh, okay.
This is Bleacher Reports. And nothing about this list is shocking to me.
Well, I'll tell you the one thing. Shaq was pissed that Steph was above Kobe, right? Shaq did say.
I don't know. I didn't see what Shaq said.
Shaq said, like...
I'm pissed that you have Kobe above Steph, so...
Oh, there you go. Well, I got Shaq. So... and he doesn't even like the guy.
So my strongest opinion about my list is about Steph Curry, but we'll get to that in a second. Okay. So that's Bleacher Report's list.
That's Bleacher Report's. The one. Let me look real quick. Duncan is always a question to me, but I had him real high on my list too.
Yeah. So you'll see my list. I wanted to rank Duncan lower than I did, but I just couldn't.
Yeah.
Like, you just can't. You look at how long he was so great, the championship teams he led. He's called the big fundamental because he is one of, if not the most fundamentally good basketball players, sound basketball players ever.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they've got him there at 7. I mean, I know people that say he's top 5 and that he's underrated.
It's hard to argue.
Yeah. He has an argument. Yeah.
It's hard to argue. I guess that looks pretty good to me. I mean, again, at the bottom, you get to Oscar Robertson and Jerry West. Like, we didn't look, and even up top for me, like Bill Russell, because he's high on my list. Like, it's tough because I didn't see these guys play, but I've seen a lot of footage.
And you know what they accomplished against their.
I've read all the statistics,
peers.
And honestly, to the point, I will say this: like, and I'm not pulling rank on anybody here, but like, I literally, and I've forgotten a lot of this stuff because I was younger. I mean, I used to sit in Harvey Pollack's office. Harvey Pollack was the NBA stats guy. He created stats in the NBA. He literally wrote the 100 out for Wilt to hold up when he scored 100 points. He was an OPR guy for the Sixers. And Harvey Pollack's stats book before the season was...
like half of America believes that didn't happen.
Okay, let's save that for another day, because I literally used to sit and talk to Harvey about moments like that and about how much better Wilt was than anyone else in the game. So I'm prepared with arguments from one of the best of all time arguments I forget, and I'm not as knowledgeable as Harvey was on the Wilt Chamberlain stuff, obviously. But like, I've been around it. I've been around people like that who have educated me on lists like this. And Wilt is a guy who I never saw play, but like, unfortunately for him, you could say he just was constantly running into the Celtics and Bill Russell.
Yeah.
And so that gets tough to rank those two.
So the reason we both have those
Bill
two.
Russell, 11 titles. I think Wilt 1.
We both have those two on our list.
Or Wilt
right?
2. 2 for Wilt.
The thing about both those guys is it's like two sides of it. It's like, well, if they played in the modern NBA, they'd suck. But it's like, okay, but if they played in the modern NBA with modern medicine, modern diet, modern working out, you think Wilt Chamberlain, who won high jump at Kansas, wouldn't have still been a monster? Like, he could have played in any era.
He's one of the guys that and I don't know that Bill Russell's that guy, but if you dropped him into the NBA today, I think like Wilt Chamberlain would be like, you'd be like, wow, guy's
I think
awesome.
Wilt would be a little soft at first. I think he'd have to. He'd have to grow into like modern strength training and stuff, right? But yes, if he had the modern day luxuries, he'd be amazing. I think the same about Bill Russell, though. I do.
Well, and Wilt changed the game. Like, rules were changed because of Wilt.
Yeah.
Like, the way he used to shoot free throws, he would run and jump and just take off from the foul line and lay it in. So they made it so you couldn't do that. You
So
had to
crazy.
actually be still. You know, like, he kind of rewrote not just the record book, but the rule book. All right, let's get to your list. Your list or my list first? I don't care.
You said mine, so
right,
you
let's
want to
go
do
with
mine?
yours.
Okay, here's my list. So I have LeBron at 1. We've argued about that ad nauseum.
Okay.
If you put LeBron or Michael or Kareem, I think if you put Michael, LeBron, or Kareem at 1, I'm actually not pissed at you. That's fine. I get it. Here's my biggest take, dude, and I've had this take for a couple years now. Steph Curry is on the Mount Rushmore at the NBA, and to me, there's no debate. To me, the biggest chasm on this list is between 4 and 5. And in a game where the object of the game is to put a ball into a basket, the guy who's the best shooter of all time, bar none, by the way, nobody argues with this. You cannot find anyone who can intellectually say, oh no, there's been better shooters than Steph Curry. Nobody in their right mind says that.
Yeah.
He is universally agreed as the best shooter, and I would argue he has changed the game of basketball more than anyone since Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
I love LeBron James, but Michael Jordan made the NBA what it is culturally. Steph Curry has changed how all 32 teams play basketball.
Yeah.
He completely revolutionized the game, almost like you were just talking about Wilt doing, changing rules.
Yeah.
NBA teams completely changed roster construction and basketball philosophy because they all wanted to be Steph Curry.
Yeah.
He won 2 titles as the best player on a team.
Yeah.
And then he won 2 with Kevin Durant. And I just think like that, like he gets so much love from me from that. Okay, what else? Most of the rest of my list is pretty not controversial, except when we get to the bottom here. Dirk Nowitzki being like 19 on Bleacher Report's list is asinine. Okay, statistically speaking, Dirk Nowitzki, one of the most clutch players of all time. You said it before the show. He could score from anywhere on the floor at will. Super underrated. He's underrated because he's awkward. His shot was goofy. Like, people don't see him as an incredible athlete. But if you remember, he beat the Miami Heat on like a drive layup.
Yeah.
And nobody could stop him.
Dirk was unbelievable. If you were, I just always go, that 2006 series, and then where they lost, right, because of some BS fouls, but whatever. And then when they beat the Heat, when you're in big games, and I just know this, I can just speak from actually like cheering for the Mavs when he was playing, or maybe betting on the Mavs when he was playing. Like, so really having skin in the game. Like, when Dirk had the ball, I really felt like he was going to score. Like, I really felt like he was going to do what it took. And he was the kind of guy, even at his size, you could get him the ball anywhere on the floor, and you had to guard him right in his shirt. And a guy that size, that's not normal.
And I've argued with you, and I think he still has this argument, by the way. I think his 2011 finals run, and I said this when we were talking about Tyrese, is the greatest individual performance in any playoff.
Yeah.
He beat Kobe, then he beat Durant, Harden, and Westbrook, like 4-2, by the way. It wasn't close.
Yeah.
And then he beat the Heatles. Without another superstar on that team. Jason Kidd was like a month from retiring. Tyson Chandler was past his prime.
Yeah.
Jason Terry was past his prime.
Yeah.
Dirk carried that by himself.
He did.
It was incredible. So I love Dirk, obviously. We'll argue about Kobe in a second, probably. Listen, I am biased. I am wrong, but I think the most magical basketball player I've ever watched play besides LeBron James is Luka Doncic, so I had to get him in here. He needs to win a title. And I like Oscar. I think Oscar could play in today's game. So
Really?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
He was doing the triple-double thing 4 decades before anybody else. Like, that guy, I don't know what his role would be in the modern NBA, but I think you could put him in the modern NBA and he'd be balling. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that's another guy that really helped the game evolve. Changed the way it was played, changed the way it was defended. When I look at your list, the only guy on there in the top 10, and I'm just thinking out loud now, the only guy, because we talked about, we got 30,000 views on a video where we went through Magic Johnson and his definition of a superstar. People are obsessed with that. And Magic's definition is when you are a guy who can sell out.
Someone buys the ticket to see you.
Everybody on the road. Tim Duncan's the only one on this whole list, I think, that did not have that honor. Or did not earn it. I'm telling you.
I think you're right.
I don't care what anybody says. Like, nobody bought a ticket to go see Tim Duncan.
Well, but that's the thing. Like, that's why he's hard to rank.
Yeah.
Like, when you say superstar, I would agree. Tim Duncan is not very high on my list. But when you say best basketball player ever, I'm like, yeah, he's very high.
Yeah.
Like, we're not talking about superstar culturally. We're talking about the best to play the game.
I like how you had Dr. J at 20, I think.
I had him. Bleacher Report had him at 20. I had him at 17.
Yeah. Okay.
I think he's underrated.
All right. Let's turn the page. Now
Boom.
You had a real problem with this.
Yeah, I do.
I'm here for questions. I mean, let me walk you through actually first.
Walk me through it.
So, MJ, we've talked about that. It's just, to me, there's just no doubt in my mind. LeBron, there's no doubt in my mind about that either. And I struggle a little bit putting Kareem and Bill Russell so high. But the fact of the matter is, they dominated, especially Kareem. Like, he dominated games. I mean, he was so influential. And this sounds so dumb to say, but like, so influential in the outcome of every game he played in, right? That's what a star does. But like, he really did that. I mean, even right now, like in the WNBA, right? We're talking about Caitlin Clark and how like she's going through this like horrible shooting slump and whatever. She's one of the greatest women's players of all time already. Okay. But like, Kareem never had a stretch like that. Like Kareem, when you're a big like Kareem was, and you were so accurate shooting the ball, nobody scored more points than him up until LeBron broke his record like 3-4 years ago. And LeBron has played so many more games than Kareem. Kareem was just unbelievable. So that's why I have to put him.
That's why I said
at 3.
there's a fringe group that would say he's number 1, and I don't argue with you. Like,
Dude.
I get it.
Yeah, and Kareem, like we remember him, or I remember him with the Lakers. Like before that, he was more dominant with the Bucks. Okay, how about Bill Russell? Yeah, 11 titles. I just couldn't go anywhere else with it. Shaq, my memories of Shaq are just domination, pure taking over a game. How do you stop him? Oh, let's do Hack-a-Shaq. Like, you're doing all these hunky-dory weird things to get him.
So talking about people that changed the game.
Yes.
The coaches are trying to find any desperate way to get that man off the floor.
We always talk, if I'm talking to a buddy who's like, man, I just can't, I'm just not good with directions. Like, I'm good at everything else. Like, and my girlfriend thinks I suck because I'm not good at directions. I'm like, hey, man, like Shaq can't shoot free throws. Like, we don't have it all. You know what I mean? Like, there's going to be things you're missing, even if you're perfect. Your issue with Kobe. Oh, no, let's talk about Wilt. Wilt, pure domination. Literally, if he wanted, 1 year he wanted to lead the league in assists, and he did. He wanted to lead the league in rebounds, and he did. Wilt's problem, and I think that folks that have come before me, and again, like the Harvey Pollocks of the world, Harvey's passed away, but if you could give him truth serum, Wilt's problem was he was addicted to the stats, and that I think screwed up his ultimate or the ultimate mission, which Pat Riley talks about, like, let's keep the main thing, right? I think Wilt got away from that with Pat Riley or with the stats, and it just, I think it hurt him. Am I keeping you from something, Scotty? What's going on? Everything all right? Everything good? Remember, you're on camera. We got to keep an eye on this guy. He must be getting another invite to go back to the Zach Owen show, right?
Dude, it'll happen one day.
All right. So, but on to my list, and this is, Scotty had an issue with this. I wanted to wake you up for this one. Kobe Bryant. Now, you believe that there's no way Kobe should be in front of Steph,
Yeah, I want to be clear. My primary issue with your list, and it's why I went so hard about where he is on mine.
Yeah.
I cannot even begin to wrap my mind around someone thinking there are 11 basketball players ever better than the best shooter we've ever seen. That's my issues where you have Steph. It is articulated by the fact that you have Kobe Bryant so high, and if we had like an hour, I would challenge you to tell me any reason you have Kobe that high, and Steph has done it and done it better.
Well,
period.
I think that Steph was gifted just the absolute perfect supporting cast. Okay, just hear me out. Like, and his ability to adjust to that cast has been second to none, right? Like, his ability to just work with everybody and stay in system with the different players is amazing. His ability to manage all the off-court stuff.
Okay, but he's not a system quarterback.
No, he's not. But he's also a guy that I don't believe can get it done like one-on-one by himself. I think he needs help. I do.
Okay.
I think he needs somebody to get him the ball so he can shoot it.
Okay, so
like, he's great off the dribble, but I just think, and here's one thing to your argument. Let me finish. Like, when you talk about how good Steph is, if I was putting together a starting five that I was going to march, if the aliens landed and they were like, all right, Pete, everybody's in ice, like the dead guys. You can take them out, unfreeze them, and they're going to play the aliens. Obviously, current players, whatever. They'll be restored to when they were at their actual height of prominence. I would put Steph on the floor with my starting five because he's the best shooter of all time.
But he's the 12th on your list.
But as far as my list is concerned,
you're crazy.
I'm ranking everybody one by one. So I do want to say that, like, Steph is on my starting five.
And Kobe's not.
Probably not.
All right.
Probably not. Yeah. So, I mean,
okay.
Maybe that's a little face.
So this is where I want to.
And Magic's overrated. Don't get me started.
So, two thoughts. There are some cultural narratives that are so deep in how we watch sports that we just believe them without investigating them.
Yeah.
One of those is Steph couldn't win a title without help. The other is Kobe is clutch.
Kobe did win a title without help. I mean, he won two.
You think prime Pau Gasol is not help?
I think
Wait, simple question. Stop. Simple question.
Yes, I think
Prime Pau Gasol.
He's overrated.
Would you have Pau Gasol or Draymond Green?
Well, but that's hold on.
No,
now.
it's okay.
What if I get Draymond and Kevin Durant?
Wait, I just want to be clear. Steph's best help you have ranked at 15. 3 of 5 of Kobe's titles, best help, you have him ranked number 5.
Yeah, and then he left. But then he left.
You just said Shaq is the most dominant player you've ever seen on a basketball court.
But then he leaves.
And what happened?
Kobe he wins 2 more titles.
Before Pau Gasol or with Pau Gasol?
2009,
With
Shaq's
Pau Gasol.
gone. And then 2011.
With Pau Gasol.
Okay, like Pau Gasol, he's not on this list.
He's in the top 30.
And that could be argued. I'm just saying Kobe, like, really showed the ability. He's been the one guy that was like, you don't think I can do, and LeBron, really, but you don't think I can do it by myself? Watch this. Kobe did that. LeBron has done that going back to Cleveland. I don't see anybody else on this list who has done that off the top of my head.
Dirk.
Okay, Dirk. But Dirk, yes, okay, Dirk.
Okay, so I would argue that the Warriors' first title run before they signed Kevin Durant and their most recent one in 23, 22, 23? They just won it?
They beat the Celtics, right? It was at 23?
Steph did not have nearly any other player on that roster that comes close to Pau Gasol or Shaquille O'Neal at that time. Maybe Klay Thompson the first time. Yeah. Maybe. But yeah, you see, you're even going, Klay Thompson's not as good as Pau Gasol.
What about Klay Thompson with Megan Thee Stallion? Now we're talking.
That's a team. Here, let me.
Now all of a sudden, Clay's got that juice again.
Let me share these statistics with you because it's important to me. I got some of this from. If you want to read a really good article on this, so you know that this is a 15-year conversation, not a hot take from the 32-year-old.
No.
Henry Abbott wrote an article in 2011 called.
Used to be known as.
Henry Abbott wrote an article in 2011 called "The Truth About Kobe Bryant and Crunch Time."
And Henry Abbott's legit. I think he actually left writing about sports to work for the Grizzlies front office.
And it investigated what's called clutch shooting percentage, which is, I think the way he was looking at it was when you take shots to tie or take a lead in the final 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant on such shots at that time, and I haven't seen an updated number because I just did this really quickly, was 31%.
Okay.
To compare, Steph Curry for his career is 52%. LeBron James for his career is 62%. Dirk for his career was 43%. Kobe Bryant, again, at least in 2011 when this article was written, 31%. So I just want to be clear. I think Kobe Bryant, I mean, he was on my list. Like, I think he's amazing. But I think he's not Mr. Clutch, which his reputation has earned. And he did not win a title without the best coach in the history of the sport and a second teammate who, by the way, he was Robin for 3 of those titles. And the 2 where he was Batman, I think we don't give Pau Gasol nearly enough credit.
Back to your clutch statistics. Like, Scotty, you're totally eliminating and forgetting about the fact that, like, in his rookie season with the Lakers, Kobe was taking the last shot, like, as a rookie. Like, and honestly, he took 3 of them against the Jazz in that elimination game, missed them all. They were all air balls, right? That was a part of, like, his growth and his progress,
yep.
Which a lot of times now, if you were to put together, like, okay, well, let's throw those out. Those 3 shots were garbage. But, like, that is an example of, like, Kobe was always taking the last shot. Kobe was always taking on all the responsibility, which is why he's an absolute killer, and I put him above Steph.
But Kobe, see, this is where I think we might fundamentally disagree. That does not mean you're a smart basketball player, and it doesn't mean it was the best basketball play. The reason I advocate for LeBron highly, and I'll say it about Steph too, they are capable of hitting that shot, but they're going to make the best play to win the game. I don't think Kobe jacking up all those shots when he was shooting 31% is the best basketball play or the best winning play.
And it's not, I mean, and look, I think with an open mind, it's not fair to this argument to say, well, that was part of Kobe's development to become one of the best players of all time. Like, that's not what this is about. You know, that's what I want to say, but I understand your point. I think we just disagree on this. I think that if I'm like in a game where I want somebody like taking a clutch shot or just like crushing somebody's soul, I want it to be Kobe Bryant. I would like the Mamba mentality. So there's Pete and Scotty. There it is, folks. Great job on the graphics, Scotty, and a great segment you put together for us today.
I like this graphic of your face. I think Mike Hamilton made that before I was ever producing.
He did,
the show.
yeah.
That's nice. So there it is. There's the side by side.
I had the Teen Wolf going. Yeah.
By the way, I had Durant at 16, so right outside, right next to where you have him.
Oh, here's one thing we want to talk about before we go to break. And it was funny because I was watching an interview yesterday where it was Charles Barkley on Dan Patrick last week, and this is why this dude was fresh in my mind. Charles was talking about how important it was when he was with the Sixers, whenever they played the Celtics, even in preseason, it would be like this crazy, like, edgy atmosphere. And Charles's rookie year, he said he went up to Andrew Toney before, his Sixers teammate, and was like, yo, it's the preseason. And Andrew Toney was like, it's the Celtics, man. It's the Celtics. Like, so that rivalry was huge. But then he said the other team they played where it was like psycho time was when they played the Lakers and Moses was on the team because Moses hated Kareem. He thought that Kareem got all the credit and that Moses was screwed over, one of the most underrated players in the history. And if you look at Moses' numbers, he won the MVP 3 times, dude. 3 times. His number is retired. I'm sure there's somebody else that has this, but I don't know. By both the Rockets and the Sixers. He made like 14 All-Star games. You could not stop him underneath. And he was sort of like in the mold of a Tim Duncan, where it wasn't like it wasn't a work of art, and it wasn't like the most explosive basketball you've ever seen. It was just completely a dismantling of the opponent. Yeah, Moses was unbelievable. And so that's one guy we didn't talk about. I had him 10.
Yeah, and I shared with you, I'm just uneducated.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to learn more.
And the reason you could say that Moses was not featured as, like, we say now, like the face of the NBA or the face, because he had a terrible speech impediment and he wasn't comfortable talking. And even in his later years, when I worked for the Sixers, we would have those legends back. And Moses would be there to celebrate the Sixers. He's getting paid and talk to the media, but he really didn't want to talk to the media because that's just, Moses didn't want to do that. So it was fine. But so I think that there were some barriers in the way of him being that, like, darling, but I think he was the first guy ever to come right out of high school and be successful in the NBA. I mean, nobody else did that. So Moses is a special guy.
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
and I want to get to a couple comments, and then we can do Caitlin Clark before we go.
Okay.
First of all, you got some love for your list. Making the Coin says Pete's list is hard to argue against.
Thank you.
He agrees with you. He or she, I guess. I don't know. That's a car in the profile picture. And then Kevin Fisher said, this is why, and I missed when he said that, Iverson should be top 15. I know you love that as a 76ers
Well, you know,
guy.
Kevin worked with Allen Iverson. He was a PR guy for the Sixers before I was.
He's still doing PR.
This is a guy.
He's still doing PR for Allen Iverson.
Yeah, well, this is a guy who Kevin is he is a guy that has the credentials to make a list like this too. But
Who? Yeah.
so that's Iverson is another one. Iverson was higher on the list than I thought on the Bleacher list.
I mean, if you're just talking give the ball to somebody and they
Yeah.
can score at will, or how good were they at
Yeah.
the game, like, yeah, he's incredible.
But then you go to the Olympics in 2004 and you have Iverson as like one of your guys with like Steph Marbury. It's a disaster.
Yeah.
So
Okay, here's my question. I'm curious because I was thinking about this as I went through this list too. Who are the basketball players who you think would be so much higher if it weren't for career injuries? And I know there's a lot.
I got one
But
for
the
you.
two for me that I think of, and they were both on Bleacher Report's 100.
I'm saying my first Bird. His back injury was like, I think it was debilitating for him.
I didn't even think about
and
that.
the back end of his career.
because
yeah.
we rank him so highly anyway.
Yeah, I think Larry Bird is a guy who I think he would be ranked even higher.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The two for me, and I've watched both these guys, Tracy McGrady and Kawhi Leonard. Those are two players that I think would be borderline top 10
Yeah.
if they hadn't struggled with injuries. Could do everything on a basketball court.
That's a good one.
Like, I think Kawhi Leonard is like sneaky underrated.
But I
still.
always think, dude, and again, this is another thing we talk about forever. Like, and I can be a prick about this. Like, look, I was supposed to play college football, and I had a heart problem. I could not play.
Yeah.
So I am the injury guy, okay? Like,
Yeah.
sucking up a scholarship for 4 years didn't pay. Like, if you gave a shit about Richmond football and you were into the details, you'd be like, let's get rid of that guy. But injuries, like, your best ability is your availability. Like, if you can't play, then you're not any good. Like, that is to me, and I just said Bird, so like I'm guilty too, but like that is a part of the makeup of a star. I don't want to hear about he's hurt. Like, that is a skill set unto itself. Do you disagree?
It's a skill set and it's bad. I mean, it's bad luck. Like Paul George's injury.
Okay, well, bad luck is like, I lost a job because I had bad luck.
Oh, I know.
You what I mean? It's in life.
No, I was just.
And
it
you
was-
lose enough jobs,
It's
you
just
suck.
it's just a fun question for me.
Yeah.
Of like, who's the guy you wish you could have seen play without injury?
Yeah.
For me, it's those two.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. I think you're right.